Salutations to great sadhakas, jignasus, bhaktas, mumukshus, sevakas, and shishyas of Guru Parampara. Congrats for the ability of sticking to the continuous listening to the Shastras, which is the blessings given to us by ourselves so that we deserve to receive the blessings from the divine. Just like a person getting flooded in the waters or going into sinking into some earthquake or wind is blowing him away, how he looks for a support to withstand and to stand and the strength energy to come out of that flood effect to a safe zone. Imagine that picture of person getting flooded looking for a strong support, first to protect from that getting flooded away, then to come out of that whole flooding and find a safe zone. In the same way, our effort of studying Shastras every day is for this purpose. We are getting flooded in the world of worldliness so vigorously, so uncontrollably, for hundreds of reasons, whatever, in that delusion, ignorance, etc. The purpose of our studying the Shastras is to find that support and come away from that getting lost. And the support is what which we are aiming at is somehow, everyhow, anyhow, understand the presence of the unseeable truth, sublime truth as substratum of the entire universe. This is the first support we have to get before we get flooded away. Then, nature of that substratum to be pure existence, consciousness, and bliss. And therefore, the glory of that substratum. These are the supports with which we won't get flooded into the worldly and samsara. Thereafter, inside, the most important thing, every Upanishad, every Shastra talks about in different wordings. But the thing is same that I want to reach that substratum, know that substratum, experience that substratum, enjoy that substratum, become united with that substratum in whatever the words, languages we may say. If this happens in us, and to that, if we add these two, three things, that at any cost, at every cost, and at every effort, I want to experience that truth. If this conviction comes to us, we have come to the safest zone. But just once the Shubha Ichha is very, very strong in us, then the flooding into the worldliness all will stop and our journey really towards the truth starts. At that time, we ask question, Guru answers, we clearly understand, we accept. Also, we do what? The sadhana to reach out. When we don't come out of the floodedness, when we don't have that safe zone of Shubha Ichha, that Paramatma Prapti alone is ultimate, and I want that alone. If this Shubha Ichha is not born in us, then the Ashubha Ichha flood will take us away into the worldly storm only. So all our efforts of studying Shastras is to get this support. And why this struggle so much? One is the habitual getting flooded away by our own choice. Second is with all the familiar equipments of knowledge, the self cannot be cognized easily. cognized at all. Therefore, it's only the great faith in the Guru and God and their blessings make one to accept the presence of it. Because it is not perceivable, it is easy to deny its presence. To become Nastika, so easy because nahi dikh rahe Bhagavan. He is not comprehensible by any of the faculties. And yet, Guru Krupa, Narayana Krupa, Ishtadeva, and years together when we listen consistently to the Vedanta, then that Shravana Bala makes us accept the presence of that Paramatma. Then his nature, then its glory. Therefore, the desire to know him, mumukshita, etc. कहते हैं उसको. All of that, when we are equipped with, that is called as like a person paragliding or wanting to do jumping from the helicopter, which is 10,000 feet high, is fully equipped. Now we can jump and enjoy that infinite sky, then open the parachute, land safely. So, with all these equipments, we can jump into the endless sky of beautiful Adhyatmika sadhanas, unobstructed. Otherwise, every moment there is an obstruction in the form of questions or doubts or non-clarities or temptations or threatenings or fears from within or comparison with others. अब क्या क्या जो जमीन में होने वालों को प्रॉब्लम होते हैं वो सब आकाश में उड़ने वालों को नहीं होते. So with the equipment of all these understandings, we can fly in that zone of undisturbance called as Adhyatmic Sadhana. And in that journey, the what it is, all the time in the remembrance of those Mahavakyas of Upanishads, which establish our oneness with the truth, which establishes the nature of truth, they alone are fully remembered in us by us, and we are in that joyful contemplative mood on that. There is no stress, there is no strain, there is no frustration. It is joyful. How happily we are contemplating through those Mahavakyas on the nature of the self. And that takes us deeper and deeper in our understanding and identity. One day suddenly it just clicks. Oh, this is the truth, this is the reality, and I am that. I am not this which I was thinking earlier. So, for this to happen, our contribution is only one thing, being regular in Upanishadic Adhyanam at every and any cost. Sometimes mood may not cooperate, yet we have to come. Mind may not show the interest, yet we have to come. Buddhi may be very dull that day, yet we have to come. So many of the works are there, yet somehow manage and come. And as we become regular in our listening, slowly we have to learn the need of preparing our equipments to listen. A calm mind, a quiet mind, a subtle intellect, a Shraddha Yukta Antakarana. Such a wonderful literature. Upanishads we are studying, which are indicating the Brahma Tattva, experience of which gives moksha. The most luckiest one. I must listen, learn, know, do, and reach. These type of self-created but very motivational or inspirational thoughts we have to entertain to not only keep ourselves on the path but keep inspiredly, vigorously, and willingly and joyfully. If they are not there, the opposite of the thoughts will come. And how long to study? Same Upanishads, enough of it. Should I stop it? And not I am not remembering anything at all. No progress happening at all. So these are all the pessimistic thoughts of the mind will take us away from path if we ourselves are not from within a inspiring. Like I have to inspire myself every day for all the six classes. What a beautiful human life it is. God, Guru has given this blessings, opportunity, and freedom to dwell upon the Shastras. So there cannot be higher, greater, sacred work than this. Let's do. Any other alternative things which can be done are not as good and great as this. And what are the things we have to sacrifice for this are very minute things. A little of sleep, a little sleep, little of some indulgences, little of some interactions or entertainments. वो तो नरक में भी मिलते हैं. It is said in our Bhagavatam. And we have gone through them million times. Observe with that, the pull towards that worldliness goes away, will not trouble us so much. Pratipaksh Bhavana कहते हैं. So to from within we can inspire ourselves. Then undoubtedly, firmly we can be on the path. Left to ourselves, the mind is a knack till we reach the self. It has its own knack of somehow or the other, either totally take us away from path or as it is doing now, allowing us to walk on the path with all disturbances, with all distractions. है ना, कंटिन्यूअसली अर्थ काम इत्यादि वो प्रपोज करता ही रहता है मन, वो उसको करते करते लॉट ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंसेस लाइक ए यंगस्टर thought of studying for 2 hours continuously, but every 2 minutes the cell phone is ringing, parents are calling, something to eat the mind is saying, can he study? He's on the table, he's referring, but there's no concentration, there's no full application. Our life also is like that. We come to class, we try to listen, but in the class also, the mischievous mind plays its play of the class. तो माइंड कहते हैं शाम को फिर से सुनेंगे, तब तक चलो घूमेंगे. This it allows. Otherwise, it has guts and dareness, like it happens in the many people's case, that it will take that person away for that entire life from the spirituality. There are so many. We have to learn from all of them. These are the risks, dangers are there. If we, with our intellect, don't inspire ourselves with the optimistic, positive thoughts, left to the mind will drag us towards the worldliness. ये हमको समझ में आना है, सीखना है दूसरों से. Then be on the path. And why we gave that example is for this reason. The example of getting flooded. Imagine that person of getting flooded in the flood waters, how tough, difficult it becomes to get a support and get out of the flow and get into a safe zone. The whole world is getting flooded in the Kali Yuga Dharma, and in the Kali Yuga, the Artha Kama, and for the Artha Kama, the Purna Swartha and Ahankara, and thus vigorously having so much tremendous power to fight out with the world continuously for the sake of Artha Kama. In that zone, we are now placed. Like a place, different places, there are zones of bad odor, good odor, medical odors, some places where some things are made out of heat. That effect of furnace बहुत गर्म जोन होता है ना. यू कैन सी गुलाब के गार्डन से जाओ, वो वाला फ्रेग्रेंस. एक केमिकल फैक्ट्री बगल से जाओ, that smell come to you. A slaughterhouse next to you go, that terrible feelings. When you go next to a school, a college, a temple, a hospital, don't you feel different atmospheres and vibes? And eateries, places, a playground. In the same way, we are in a Kali Yuga zone of all this, trying to flood us into that. तो अपने आप को कॉन्शियसली, बुद्धि को अलर्ट करते हुए, ये सब समझते हुए, अपने आप को बचाते हुए इस मार्ग में खुद रखना पड़ता है. लेफ्ट टू आवर माइंड इट जस्ट फ्लड्स इन मिनट्स. And how much time it will take for you to decide, चलो we'll stop the class. One day, हमें हो गया, नो मोर, इनफ, बहुत दूसरे बाबा लोग मिले मेरे को, छोड़ दिया आपको क्लास को, वॉट एवर यू से, यू आर लेफ्ट. हो गए हो. Isn't it? But this consistency, one after the Upanishad, one after the text, continuously exposing to the truth which is so necessary. Hmm? We'll be missing it. Anyway, remember the flood. Remember that coming out of the flood with the support is through the study of Shastra, accepting the presence of the self, understanding the nature of the self, knowing therefore the glory of the self, then the desire to experience that self. Then, when the strong is the desire to experience it, all life's endeavors will be only doing those sadhanas which take us towards this anumati. Such person is of different world, and while doing so, self-inspiration and all to be kept up all the time, so that the negative thoughts in our own mind which act as enemy and take us away from the path, from that we are saving ourselves. भयंकर है ये मन का अंदर का. And it starts in छोटे छोटे क्वांटिटी. It's a थोड़ा क्या फर्क पड़ा है, आधा घंटा सो लो, है ना, एक दिन छोड़ दो, या स्वामी एनीवे लेट आते हैं 10 मिनट लेट जाओ क्लास हो. अब कुछ ना कुछ वो माइंड ना, इट ट्राइज इन ए स्मॉलर लिटिल वेज, सो दैट इट विन्स ओवर अस लिटिल बाय लिटिल, एंड उसको बड़ा करते जाता है. इन द मीन टाइम सडनली अनदर बाबा more senior to me come to you, or other program comes up, some urgent work gets added. In the flow of doing it, the mind gets strength to go away from it. Suddenly the mind is cooperated with the intellect. It says, anyway अभी छूट गया ना कुछ दिन से, अब छोड़ ही दो. Then by the time the age grows, the prarabdha brings diseases, some financial problem, family problem will crop up. All are put together, makes us forget that we were spiritual seekers so much that we don't remember कि अरे ऐसे कुछ करते थे. रेगुलर क्लास जाते थे, सुबह शाम दिन में पुस्तक खोलते थे, फिर खोलते ही नींद आता था. All that we will forget also. That's the power of Maya in total level, mind in our own level. Everyone is victim. And a little mauka de, how that flood of the water takes us away, heavy floods. See that force of it. बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंगों को बहा कर ले जाता है, ब्रिजेस को. So to the power. So may that's ourselves help ourselves. Though we are very tiny toddlers and powerless, strengthless individuals as regards our sadhana concern, yet let us start. Let us just have faith in ourselves and in the goal, and whatever little steps we can put, we'll do with full faith in Bhagavan and Guru. They will definitely help us. So let us come to the study of our Aitareya. Yesterday we saw the Adhyaropa aspect. Today, in few minutes, Apavada aspect we study. Then we do the 14th mantra, conclude it. Then we enter into the second Adhyaya. Om Namo Narayana. Om. 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् जगतीमवितुं कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमां श्रीवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः सङ्कल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति विश्वशान्तिकल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निश्चित अस्माकं सह समस्त जिज्ञासु भक्त आचार्य गुरूणां शिष्याणां सेवकानां पूर्णायुरारोग्यादि सत्संपदा शक्ति सानुकूलता प्राप्ति साधनानां प्राप्ति विघ्नशत्रु निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदाद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनस्य प्रयत्नं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम मनस्ताप तम शान्त्यै यस्य पाद न गच्छटा शरदिन्दु निभाभाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम् ओमत श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद प्रथम प्रथमोऽध्यायः शांति मंत्र ओम वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्तश्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामृतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ओम शान्तिः 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 अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः chant from 13th mantra स जातो भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतो किमिहान्यं वावदिशति ते स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म ततमम पश्यतु इदमदर्शमिदे तस्मादिदन्द्रो नामेदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तविदन्द्रं सन्तमिन्द्र इत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः. Friends, yesterday we have seen the Adhyaropa aspect so beautifully, so continuously, exhaustively, clearly, completely. Then the Apavada aspect is taught to us in the 13th mantra. In that mantra, Shruti Mata said very precisely, not with details elaboration. So Bhagavan Adi Shankara, Bhashyakara, took it upon himself and gave us the guidance how the Apavada of the Adhyaropa happens or should happen. Superimposition is Adhyaropa. De superimposition is Apavada. though the snake superimposed on the rassi, adhyaropa. Then the removal of the snake is apavada by the apprehension of the rope as it is. So here also we have seen सजातः भूतानि अभिव्यख्यतु यहाँ तक अध्यारोप ही चलेगा. Then comes Kimidam Vavadishariti onwards. This is called Apavada Sadhana. In that, Shruti Mata will tell more in further things. भगवान शंकर यही हमको बताते हैं. Which in those 5, 6, 7 steps, we have to very, very clearly listen, think and understand. है ना? One word is $1,000,000 there. One sentence. First one. Now, through the Adhyaropa, the Parabrahma, having created all, entered through Simanam, identifying with three avasthas, three dehas, going through three avasthas. Now he has become samsari here, adding all ragadvesha with the equipments. Through that kicks only he is getting anartha and dukkha, and yet he is not waking up, na pramudhyate. Up to this is completeness of Adhyaropa and its consequences of same Brahman appearing to be a suffering Jiva, you and I. अब अपवाद शुरू होता है. कहाँ से शुरू होगा अपवाद? है ना? जिनको नहीं पता उनको कभी होगा तो होगा एक्सीडेंटली. But we are studying Shastra, so then we know the idea. So we are that way luckier than the first person who had to somehow get that means for apavada. We have himself, that person, or like people like that, as an example for us, their stories, their lives. Okay. So the first step in apavada, in the removal of superimposition, in superimposition, in removing the adhyasa is kadachitu. What is the word used here? Paramakarunikeena acharyena. Okay. The first step in the अध्यारोप को रिमूव करके अपवाद करना उसके लिए है परम कारुणिकेन आचार्येण. तो टू कम इन कांटेक्ट विथ परम करुणायुक्त आचार्य. So here Shankara Bhagavan also quickly, directly taking us to the point. उसको भी हम एक आधा और पॉइंट ऐड करके और क्लियर कंप्लीट बना सकते. व्हाट इट इज? either same कारण का आचार्य comes in many lives to us to guide us. And it's like same doctor coming every day for the rounds to check the inpatients. होता है कि नहीं? Till they are healthy and discharged, the patients. Sometimes what does this doctor does? He may be on leave or to the problem that patient is having. He may not be correct. What he does? Other doctors he appoints or any other specialist he invites saying अब for इस problem के आप क्योर करो. है ना? बहुत सारे अलग अलग है. अब you know medically. In the same way, that Acharya he himself may continue. He may hand over us to other Acharya, whether it is this Acharya, that or that. Everybody's purpose is to make us get rid of the Adhyaropa called as removing the Adhyaropa called Apavad. अध्यारोप का रिमूव करने को अपवाद कहते हैं. दैट इज अ परम कारुणिक. ओके, ही हिमसेल्फ डज. हो गया तो नहीं तो एक्सपर्ट्स ही विल कॉल हु आर गुड इन दैट. Like for example, we are pure Vedantins. Vedanta we are doing, but our chitta is so terrible. तो उसको क्वाइटन करने के लिए योग शास्त्र थोड़ा हमको पढ़ाया जाएगा. अब देखो आज से वी आर स्टार्टिंग अष्टांग योग. मैं दोगे तो पिछले 6000 क्लासों में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्लास अब स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, जिसको एटलीस्ट कम से कम वी हैव टू स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग टू हेल्प आवरसेल्व्स. So that treatment is required in between, therefore we are exposed to that. We were needing Bhagavatam for 1224 days. So we were given that. The same source he may give us through any, but the Guru Parampara, Guru or Acharya Bhagavan give. But understand that Parama Karunikena. This is the Parama Karuna. है ना? आचार्येण नहीं कहा भगवान शंकर, कारुणिकेन आचार्येण. He did not stop. There is a Parama Karunikena Acharya. As we explained in detail what is Parama Karuna of that Acharya, now we need not repeat it. You know, you'll have to come from his comfort zone. You know, like doctor in his safest, properly, whatever the terminology, I don't know, medical language, may safe zone of his own chambers. He'll have to come to that ward where so many people with so many diseases are there. It's a risk to him. कोई भी disease उनको भी लग सकता है. Yet परम कारुणिक he comes. You know, he touches the patient, he takes the things. एक एक चीज करुणा ही है उनका ना. His own family members, the patients, वो खुद ही दूर रहते हैं कभी, but doctor and nurses परम कारुणिक. In the same way, coming to our level, listening to all our nonsense and stupidity, and convincing sweetly, lovingly that we are stupid and nonsense, and this is the way to come out of it systematically. ऐसा कोई गुरु आकर बताना हमको, तो he'll have to have a lot of karuna. One special quality of karuna of Bhagavan or Guru is, once the Guru is given the charge to help this disciple by the divine, that disciple may not have faith. He may not be, full of doubts and despairs. But Guru nahi chodta. Even the disciple may leave the Guru and go. But Guru takes some other form and goes to the disciple and puts him on the track. That is the meaning of Parama Karunik. I know everywhere. Then like postman, courier wala. आता है नीचे, फिफ्थ अपार्टमेंट में देना है, फिफ्थ फ्लोर, नीचे वॉचमैन को दे के चले आएगा, पहुंचा तो पहुंचा, नहीं तो नहीं. But this other courier fellow, he climbs all 5 stairs, even the lift is not there, knocks the door, ensures the person कि आप ही का है courier, लीजिए साइन कीजिए. This is called a Parama Karunik. Everywhere in the hotel, people are coming, they are giving order, bearers are giving, they are eating food, nothing. But if that manager is Parama Karunika, he will go to every of the customer and say, भाई कैसा है, कुछ change है. Like earlier days होता था. ओनर आकर सबसे पूछते थे, इडली ठीक है, सांभर ठीक है, गरम है ना, ठीक परोस रहे हैं कि नहीं आपको. Isn't it? Everywhere. You know, like the management of cricketing, going to every player and asking, or the principal himself going to every class and inquiring about every student. Is the teaching going on well? Are you able to learn? Examples of Parama Karunikata. You know, the Prime Minister Chief Minister going to the last level of people also and inquiring them. I'm giving you example for Parama Karunikata. The Guru also, because he's such a highest level of Amar Masmi. And what are we? Identify Dehendra Upadhi. So much of arrogant, disobedient, irregular, lazy, not interested. You know, what level of our personality, if it is scanned and seen, so useless. No, no, Swami, I am so great. Achha, your greatness has come because some gurus trained you in last 10 lives. तब भी वही परम करुणा था ना, शुरू से लेकर, है ना. That परम कारुणिका, the gardener, how he plants the plant with so much of love. वाह, beautiful, you know. The whole world is nothing but भगवान का और सारे संतों का परम करुणा का ही expression. And that karuna percolates into every department as I gave you examples. So kadachit parama karunikena acharyena we have understood. So that shows wait for that opportunity of the arrival of acharya. Second, if that acharya comes in our life, don't leave him. Even if he himself beats you left and right, don't leave. Clear? Because through him the divine is going to bless us. ये दो बातें हो गए. Now third, परम कारुणिका. Understand and accept is the pure karuna. Fourth point now. What that Acharya does, what we have to allow him to do is this one कि आत्मज्ञान प्रबोध कृत शब्दिकायाम वेदांत महावाक्य भेर्याम. And he is called as an acharya who does this one. And from the acharya, this is what we have to receive for our apavada from the adhyaropa. What is that? Atma Jnana Prabodha Krut. First, digest these four words. Atma is our own real self. Atma Jnana means the knowledge about our own real self. Prabodha means awakening us to our own knowledge of the self. Krut means करने वाला. तो हमको अपने ही आत्मा के ज्ञान में प्रबोध करने वाले व्हाट शब्दिकायाम शब्द. So the speech or the words which awaken us to the real essential knowledge about our own real essential self. Which are they? Vedanta Mahavakya. The Mahavakyas which are given is Vedanta. And this Mahavakya of the Vedanta, when that Paramakarunika Acharya does, where he does it in the Karna, to reach where? To the Karna Mula. And for reaching it through the Karna to Karna Mula, how he does it? He does it as Bheryam, like the Bheri Ninad. You know, when the trumpets and big sounds are there, कितना भी अब ईयर प्लग्स लगा लो, दरवाजे खिड़कियां बंद करो, but still that sound comes, you know. In the same way, the powerful Karunamaya Acharyas, Mahavakya Upadesha Bheri is such one that it goes through the ears into the Hridaya of those bhaktas or disciples to whom they decided to guide. For various reasons, Ishwara इच्छा में होगा, he may be deserving, और आचार्य himself might have chosen कि इन जीवों को मैं करता हूँ. There all meetings are there. हर जगह होता है भाई. होटल में टेबल्स बांटते हैं कि नहीं अपने बेरर्स, भाई ये मेरा वेले आज वो आपके हैं. सो टू व्हेन यू गो पिकनिक द गाइड्स दे बांट लेते भाई, दो बस तुम संभाल ये हम संभालते. प्लेसेस लाइक तिरुपति, thousands of them go for what you say the मुंडन कराने के लिए. तो वो लोग वहाँ बांट लेते हैं, यार इनको तुम मुंडन कर, इनको मैं करता हूँ. So to when you go to बद्रीनाथ गया श्राद्ध, तो दो ब्राह्मण आल्सो शेयर द पीपल, यार इसको तुम कर देना श्राद्ध, यार इसका नहीं करना, जो चले गए उनका करना है. चलो ठीक है. इन द सेम वे गुरु बंटवारा करते, चल ये फंसे हुए जीवों को मैं उद्धार करता हूँ, तुम उनको कर ले. लाइक एवरीवेयर, कोई जो फ्लड्स का है इसका मैं पता, आप वहां जाके थोड़ा रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन करो, तो वी विल डू दिस साइड, है ना. when terrorists or Naxalites come, so this battalion of army goes that side, the other goes this. Everything is so clear. वेदांत का समझने के लिए हर एक चीज व्यवहार में एग्जाम्पल के रूप में है. ओके, now which point we are now here? Paramakarunika Acharya, what is he doing? Doing the Bheri Nada in the ears of this totally lost samsari. Of what? Vedanta Mahavakya. What it contains? Atma Jnana Prabodha Krit Shabdo. That's for he alone is Acharya who gives those Atma Jnana Prabodha karne wale Upanishad Mahavakya Shabd. Anything lesser than that, then that Acharya is not of that highest help to us. And we are so lucky if some Acharya we get who goes on banging our ears and heart with their Mahavakya Upadesh. Okay? Any of the Mahavakyas. Now we will not talk in detail of them. Anyway, this Upanishad gives us one Mahavakya toward the end, Prajnanam Brahma. But we can talk about one Mahavakya recently which we have done in our Adhyatma Ramayanam. है ना? Tat Tvam Asi Mahavakya. That Bheri he speaks. Okay, na? That means what? That is what we are doing every day. So, Tvam Etat Na Asi, Tvam Tat Asi. You are not this what you are thinking. You are that which you don't know so far. You must know it now. And this Tat Tvamasi, you are not this, you are that. Alone is the study of the entire Vedanta. So, what is this which is not me but I am considering as me? So in any of the ways that Mahavakya, the Guru explains, Acharya. Mahavakya is simple. You are not this, you are that. Tvam etad nasi, tvam tadasi. Then what is etat, what is tat, we must know. And then etat you drop and tat ko you take as aham. So this etat is explained by the Guru as either Panchakosha or three dehas or three avasthas or three gunas or triputi, isn't it? Etat tvam na asi. He will take all the logics, all quotations, all the examples of the world, and then he brings to our notice what I am not. Anatma Nirakarana कहते हैं उसको. Anatma Shri Vigarahanam, a beautiful book written by Adi Shankara. I don't know when will we study all of those hundreds of his beautiful Prakarana Granthas. Hundreds. Prabodha Sudhakaram, Anatma Shri Vigarahanam. You know, what a नाम याद नहीं आ रहे लेकिन सुंदर सुंदर टेक्स्ट. Anyway, so this is what etatvam na asi is proved. Then tatatvam asi. He'll not only have to say the Panchakosha, but the substratum, the Sakshi, the Shuddha Satta, all of that the Guru goes on telling, which we are not aware, therefore it is told Parokshena Tat Tat. Then it is said, Tam Tat Asi, not Etat. And when we also respect the words of Guru in the beginning and start pondering over them with the examples, logics given by him, this is what we have to learn. One thing, our own independent effort, but exactly as we are guided by the Shruti and our Acharyas. Again, we ourselves when we go on doing it. Okay, the whole discussion what is going on, how the apavada happens. Adhyaropa is completed. With that, first line of this shloka number 13, which is called as Sajato Bhutane Abhivyakyat. Then किमिहान्यम वावदिशति वहां से लेकर जो अपवाद है of that with Bhashya we are studying. So कदाचित परम कारुणिकेन आचार्येण आत्मज्ञान प्रबोधकृत शब्दिकायां वेदांत महावाक्यायां वाक्य भेर्यां तत्कर्णमूले ताड्यमानायां. And after the tadana done by the Guru of the Mahavakya into our ears and hearts, we have to do the work of ourselves, the work of contemplation on that. Okay. In that contemplation, what Guru said is fully understood, accepted by us. This is how the Adhyarapa goes away, and that's why it's called Apavada of the Adhyaropa. What is Apavada? Removal of the Adhyaropa. So when the superimposed is removed by desuperimposition, what reality is there, that is realized. Okay. Now what is the nature of that realization or the apavada? Here it is said. But it is so beautiful flow of that sentences. He says, ki etameva srushtyadi karturtvena prakrutam. This alone, which is in this context, explained as the karta for the beginning of creation, etc. Purusham, that Purusha. Why? Because Simana Vidarya, he entered and staying in the three Puras or in the Sharira Pura. So Purusham Purushainam. And it is the real Atma, Atmanam, which is called as Bruhat Brahma in the Upanishads. And Bruhat Tatamam. So takarene ekena luptena tatatamam. These are the few things very important to be caught. Bruhat, it is bigger than the biggest. Be attentive. Then tatatamam, tatam is permeation. Tatatamam means supremely permeating. So all permeating, supreme, bigger than the biggest, Brahman, whose nature is explained as Satachit Ananda in other Upanishads, who himself in this context initially told as the Karta of the Srushti Ityadi, and who himself is said to have entered through the Simana Vidarya, that Brahman I am, not this, to this knowledge he wakes up. Through the Mahavakya Upadesha of the Guru. ये होना चाहिए हमको. So, Purishenam, Atmanam, Brahma, Bruhat Tatamam, Takarene Kena Luptena, therefore Tatatamam means Vyaptatamam, That means Paripurnam. And the one who is Paripurna, complete, Vyaptatama, all pervading, substratum of everything, who is now in the context of as creator of the whole creation. Okay. Example, Akashavat, like an Akasha. Okay. To that Parabrahma, to that Paramatma, he awakens. What is the meaning of awakening? Prabudhyata means apashyatu. Apashyat means he sees. Sees means what? Oh, he realizes himself to be that self. This is called as removal of the adhyaropa, that I am a jiva bound in this sharira, going through these three avasthas because of these three upadhis. उसका अपवाद होकर knowledge किसका dawn हुआ? That I am that Brahma which is Purna, because he is Tatatama, that is because he is Brahatu. तो बृहत होने के कारण, तततम होने के कारण पूर्ण होने वाला जो परब्रह्म है वो मैं हूं. But all these are words again. Corresponding to those words, the concepts have to be made in the intellect. But intellectual concept is not realization. That concept, whatever to that inexplicable thing it is indicating, उस ब्रह्म का हमें साक्षात रूपेण अनुभव होना है. Then only the total avavada has been achieved, adhyaropa is gone. That is also said here. Katham, देखो, इदम ब्रह्मा मम आत्मनः स्वरूपम आदर्शम दुष्टवान अस्मि. See how cute is Shruti Mata in mentioning, though in few words, think completely. Say idam adarsham iti kahana. So here also, that Brahman which intellectually first apprehended after being taught by the Guru on his own seat of contemplation, later on may he will experience that idam Brahma mama atmanah swarupam. This Brahma, which we have understood as intellectual concept, it is the essential nature of my own self. But most important is adarsham drushtavan asmi. I have experienced it. The drushtavan asmi is important because only that experience happens, then we can say we are freed, liberated from the adhyaropa. पूरा अपवाद हो गया अध्यारोप का. Feel the meaning of every of these sentences, because the whole thing which we have to study, understand, practice and reach through the Vedantic Marga, सारा इन एक दो श्लोकों में बताया गया. That's the beauty of this Upanishad. In simple words, it teaches like our Adhyatma Ramayana also teaching to us in simple words. So now in this, everything is important. Waiting for that Paramakarnika Acharya, if he comes, holding on to him, not leaving him, allowing him to do the Vedanta bury in our ears of the Mahavakyas, then we hold on to that data and we do our own independent inquiry, etc. In the heat of that inquiry, all that I am not, that is burnt away, then I am recognizing that this Brahman, who is Bruhat, which is a Tatatamam, which is Purnam, is me. And Tushtavanasmi. Apashyam, apashyat is the word used in the main mantra. उसका यहाँ कहते हैं आदर्शम दृष्टवान अस्मि. मैंने देखा है, मैंने अनुभव किया है. So therefore, what is it saying? This anubhava of the Purna Sarvavyapaka Brahma, which gives the moksha from all adhyaparopa, is possible and is to be made possible. And our entire life's efforts, resources should be used only for that. And for that, the few steps are Paramakarunика Acharya Sharanagati, becoming yogya to listen from him the Mahavakya, and no other topic or the thing to be done in life other than through the contemplation on Tattvamasya Mahavakya, reach to the Tat as our own self. Experience Tattvamasya as Aham Brahmas. अब दूसरा कोई होना ही नहीं काम. Everything else is illusion. Everything else is Maya. Like in the initial days of spirituality, whole world and worldly affairs are so important and real, and this one class is so superficial, just like that we go. At the higher stage of evolution, which is achieved many lives के बाद, totally into the engrossment of, है ना, recognition of self through Mahavakya Shodhana, only for little while coming into the Vyavahara world for some Dharma Nirvana or Shariradi Nirvana. That's it. देखो चित्त के मन में ना ये दो बातें होते हैं कि आई एम इन दिस वर्ल्ड for two purposes. One, just survive. For that, whatever is required minimum, that is done. Second is pouring myself fully only in knowing the truth. Nothing else. अगर इसमें कोई बैठ गया ना, महाधन्य है. Luck, like your own servants, if they're totally dedicated to your family and say इनका सेवा ही करना है हमारा, तो वो महा सर्वेंट का धन्यता नहीं, हमारा धन्यता है that we have somebody to take care of us. Like a principal, he says, my students of school or college must be academically, professionally should excel. If that way he makes all the planning programs, that's called mahadhanyata of him. If the prime minister or chief minister think that my state or country should grow in all aspects, that country is dhanya to have such a CM or PM. In the same way, in your and our life, I have nothing to achieve in this world, just do that dharma for survival. Other than that, knowing the truth through Mahavakya Vicharana is the only sole goal. जिनके मन में आ गया ना, आहा, धन्य धन्य हो गया वो, है ना. ते धन्याः भुवि परमार्थ निश्चितेहाः शेषास्तु भ्रम निलये परिभ्रमन्ति. You know that धन्याष्टकम. ते धन्याः भुवि परमार्थ निश्चितेहाः. They are the dhanya who, having born as human, are making the nischaya of Paramatma theoretical and practical and experiential. Sheshaha, the other people, Brahmanilaya Paribhramanti. They are only wandering in the delusory world like Maya Sabha only. अब देखो कितना important है these shlokas. So, being with Guru, listening to the Upanishadic Mahavakyas, like a Karna Bheri Nada, and then contemplating on that in the heat of contemplation, all the delusory misconceptions of Adhyaropas get melted away, and then the Adhyaropa apavad ho jata hai. I realize myself to be that Bruhat Tatatama Brahman, who in this Prakarana is spoken as the Srushtikarta and was entered into the Simanam with the idea of to have the bhoga of what all the devatas are doing only as sakshi, but thoda miss ho gaya usme se. He got into the tadatma with upadhis, suffering as jiva now. Therefore, I am not a jiva to suffer all these three avasthas because of three dehas. I am that Paramatma who entered into this equipment to enjoy all the drama as a sakshi. That I alone have made the whole creation. Before making the creation, I am all pervading Brahma, whose nature is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. No, this today in the introduction also, in that 20 minutes, this is what only we talked also exhaustively. If this way, the Vedantic knowledge about we being Brahman again is also clear in us, that also good achievement, a higher level. But not sufficient. We have to work on it on the seat of meditation when we experience. That's why idam adarsham the importance of the word adarsham here is more. Like in Gita, विश्वरूप देखना नहीं, ज्ञातुम द्रष्टुम च तत्वेन प्रवेष्टु. Jnatum is intellectually I taught you up to the 10th chapter. Drashtum is you asked me to show, then I have shown you, you have seen the Vishwarupa. Praveshtu means what? You should in your experience know that you are a part of the total, playing a part of individual, never apart from the total. That's called a Praveshtu. It's an intellectual understanding. Like entering into Paramatma is knowing that I am Paramatma. There is no entry as if I am different from that. Jnatum drashtum tatvena praveshtum. Devotion is the only way. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya ahameva midorjuna jnatum drashtum tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. 11th chapter, last but 154 sloka. What is said there as praveshtum? Here idam adarsham iti. This Brahman I have experienced as my own self. Oh. So in this way, the adhyaropa that I am a jiva and I am going through these three avasthas and this is what is real, and here only I have to negotiate this and that to eke out more happiness in more times for long time. more situations. These all अध्यारोप है. These are अपवाद में क्या हुआ, ये सब अध्यारोप निकल गया. Then I discover I am that all pervading बृहत तततम blissful सत्स्वरूप ब्रह्म. बट ये इंटेलेक्चुअल से काफी नहीं, अनुभव में आना. So in this way अध्यारोप is taught, अपवाद is taught in these shlokas. And up to the 12th mantra it's अध्यारोप. Right from first mantra वा अब आत्मा वा इदमग्र आसीत से लेकर आगे. In the 13th mantra is apavada. And that apavada in the mantra is vague. Bhashyakara, by giving the exhaustive details, made it very clear. Wherein he said, Kadachit Paramakarugena Acharyena, then Atma Jnana Bodha Krut Shabdikayam Mahavakya Bharyam Tat Karnamule Tadyamanayam. When this happens again and again, then I am this self. Etameva Sushtyadi Kartutvena Prakrutam, which is spoken as Srishtikarta so far. Purusham, because Purushainata Atmanam, that is my essential self, which is called as Brahman in Upanishads. And then it is Tatatamam, Vyaptatamam, Paripurnam. So all pervading, infinite, complete, Bruhat Brahma is me. To this knowledge, he wakes up. परिपूर्णम आकाशवत् प्रत्यवबुध्यत अपश्यत. That अपश्यत is explained as idam brahma mama atmanah swarupam adarsham drishtvan asmi. This is what the essential nature of the me, the self, the Brahman. This I have drishya pashyami or drishtvan asmi, means unambiguously I have experienced. And it's as good an example as when the disease is there, infection हो गया ना कुछ मानो, whole body pains, that temperature, that weakness, that sleepiness, the loss of appetite, what to do, what not to do, doesn't know, can't sit, can't sleep. How do we suffer? होना नहीं किसी को कभी ऐसे डिसीज, बट हम सबको हुआ होगा. At that situation, what a terrible thing it would be. Huh? Up now went to the doctor, or doctor came. He started giving the medicine. It started showing the medication. So 2 दिन, 3 दिन, 4 दिन gets reduced. Once the 10 days of dose is over, all those negative pains of the body are not only gone, the opposite of it, all the positivity we enjoy. Full health, energy, strength. We have all gone through that. In the same way, from this adhyaropa created jiva bhava and samsara, through this experiment or practice of sadhana, when the apavada of the adhyaropa happens, like medicine taken, the disease goes away, the healthy body remains. Same way, adhyarop ko nikal diya apavad se, then one establishes in the healthy situation of aham brahmasmi anubhuti. That Brahma is Bruhat Tatatamam Purnam. Bigger than the biggest, all pervading, therefore it is complete. The earlier, at the time of Adhyaropa, not Bruhattamam, not bigger than biggest, but it is small. Only with one Panchakosha he was identifying. Tatatamam is not all pervading, only at one place for one limited period of 50, 70, 80, 90 saal, 100 saal he is there. So to not Purnam, everything is Apurna only. As a jiva under the influence of Adhyaropa. But now when Apavada removed the Adhyaropa ka jab Apavada ho gaya, as a result when I discover I am this Brahman, that it is Brahat, bigger than biggest, Tatatamam, all pervading, therefore Purnam complete. There is no Purnata. Because of Purnata, there is no desire, therefore there is no need of any involvement in all. That's why a Brahmajnani has nothing to do because there is nothing to achieve. Purna hai wo. Okay, like that day when we are so hungry, every hotel we look at it and read the board and क्या है खाने को. Hungry है, पूर्ण नहीं है, अपूर्ण है. No, other day या up to गले तक खाए निकले खा के. You may be put in front hundreds of hotels, या ये देखेगा नहीं आप उसको, वो पूर्ण है अंदर से. Isn't it? Purna, like a bhakta. When he finds his complete love devotion to God, Purna ho gaya ho. He will not fall trap into any attachments to any things or beings in the world. पूर्ण है ना, मेरा तो गिरधर गोपाल, अब दूसरों को पूर्ण हो गया, भक्ति के पूर्णता, भगवान के प्रति भक्त का भक्ति से पूर्ण. इवन लौकिक पीपल आल्सो दे गेट लॉस्ट इन वाइफ और हस्बैंड चिल्ड्रन, उनको उसी में पूर्णता लगता है, इसलिए ना सत्संग जाते हैं ना कोई गुरुओं का सेवा करते, दैट दे थिंकिंग पूर्ण, इट इज नॉट रियल पूर्णता, isn't it? A pujari so पूर्ण in doing upasana to Lord every day, बस सर्वाइवल के जो चाहिए आ रहा है, काफी है. He is just doing upasana to ask the Lord to bless the people. What a पूर्णता. Same way we will live the life of पूर्णता thereafter. शुभम काट. सो इस तरह से इति विचारणार्थ प्लुति पूर्वम. तो अप टू 12 अध्यारोप 13th अपवाद we have concluded. Now comes a very subtle discussion. यस्मात् इदम इति एव यत् साक्षात् अपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म सर्वान्तरम अपश्यत् परोक्षेण तस्मात्. So the last 14th mantra begins with tasmat, therefore, because of. Now whenever you start some shloka with tasmat, it should be preceded. Therefore, you can't say therefore straight away without giving the earlier thing. Like Pujya Gurudev, so many times we heard him, first sentence he used to talk on the day is therefore. And जो फर्स्ट डे आ रहा है उसी दिन पहले क्लास उसको समझ में नहीं आता, but every day coming, then Gurudev is continuing from where he stopped yesterday. Krishna advises Arjuna, therefore. He starts with therefore only. Gurudev has learned from these rishis. This rishi in the 14th mantra is starting with therefore. Tasmat. Ab Shankara Bhagavan will have to give the Sambandha Bhashya because he has taken that onus of guiding we stupid fellows who forget everything. Good, all nonsense, we remember. Therefore, स्वामी आप सडनली therefore से शुरू कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब क्या है? अरे फिर कब से क्या सुन रहे हो तब से? है ना? He says yasmat, because idam iti eva, in the way that idam yat sakshat aparokshat brahma sarvantaratamam apashyat, that Brahma who is there innermost to all koshas, in that way in everything and being, that Brahmana aparokshana he has experienced, yet he had to say it as idam. Yasmat idam iti eva यत् साक्षात् अपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म सर्वांतरम अवश्यत परोक्षेण, है ना, परोक्षेण. So as we told you, when he is learning from the teacher, it is parokshena. When he has to tell everyone what he has experienced, it is also parokshena. But between these two paroksha, for him to get moksha and to get the authority to speak later on parokshena, he must have the pratyaksha anubhava, which is called as aparoksha anubhava. Pratyaksha and aparoksha are same, paroksha is opposite. Pratyaksha is direct, paroksha is indirect. Okay, aparoksha is beyond all the means. प्रत्यक्ष मीन्स आंखों देखा हल, परोक्ष मीन्स किसी ने बोला, अपरोक्ष मीन्स आंखों की भी जरूरत नहीं, इंद्रियों का भी जरूरत नहीं, so much direct experience. Then that aparokshanubhuti will happen only of Paramatma Tattva. There is a text where Adi Shankara aparokshanubhuti, हम पढ़ेंगे उसको. अष्टावक्र गीता अपरोक्षानुभूति पढ़ेंगे. आई थिंक शाम की क्लास में ना हिंदी में हम ये लगा सकते. Instead of taking a big Purana इत्यादि, आप पुराण तो भागवत सुने, रामायण सुने, और क्या है, every Purana will have same things. नहीं तो टाइम नहीं मिल रहा हमको ना पढ़ने को. So he says here कि So yasmad idam iti eva yat sakshat aparokshat brahma sarvantartamam avashyat parokshena. So in the beginning days, he, the jiva, idam ke rupena parokshena only he has heard from the guru. That's how the Guru can teach, because teaching always is in the Paroksha Rupa, not Pratyaksha. Because of that, the Shruti Mata says about the Parabrahman in this way, in the last mantra. What it is? Ki tasmat idandro nama, idandro havai nama, tam idandram santam indra iti achakshate, parokshena, paroksha priyayivahi devaha, paroksha priyayivahi devaha. This literal meaning we see today, then the Bhashya kalam padenge. है ना कि तस्मात् therefore idandraha nama, therefore this Brahman is given idandra name, because at the level of sadhana seeking, that jiva, when he was taught by the Guru, he understood the Parabrahma when he was taught by the Guru as idam rupena paroksha, because that's the only way it can be taught, but that won't give moksha. मोक्ष तो अहम रूपेण अपरोक्ष अनुभूति से मोक्ष होता है, बट इदम रूपेण वो गुरु ने बताया कि नहीं, और शिष्य ने भी इदम के रूपेण ही समझा। अनुभव अहम के रूप में आने से पहले दिस नॉलेज अबाउट द ब्रह्मन इज परोक्ष रूपेण एव इदम इदम, इसलिए तस्मात् इनका नाम है इदंद्रो नाम। देखो इदंद्र इज द नेम ऑफ ब्रह्मन, it's from the definition. Idam rupena दृष्टवान, therefore idam dra. ब्रह्म का नाम इदंद्र क्यों है? क्योंकि जिस डिसाइपल को पढ़ाते हैं गुरु, गुरु पढ़ाएंगे इदम के रूप में। The listener, the disciple also listens as idam. When he has to tell somebody, he will tell as idam only. But that idam won't give moksha, no? It give moksha comes when the idam is experienced as aham. Therefore, the next one is dram, dra. सो द्रष्टवान, तो बोलने के लिए इदम, अनुभव के लिए द्र, दोनों मिलाओ इदम द्र। द्र मीन्स दृष्टि, दृष्टि मीन्स अनुभूति, दर्शन किया है। सो तस्मात् इदंद्रो नाम, इदंद्रो हवै नाम, इनका नाम ब्रह्म का इदंद्र है, बताया जाएगा इदम के रूप में, अनुभव दर्शन किया जाएगा अहम के रूप में। ऑब्जेक्टिवली टॉट, सब्जेक्टिवली एक्सपीरियंस्ड। No way to teach other than objective. No way to get liberation other than experiencing subjectively. See the clarity? And nobody should think that without Guru's teaching objectively, that he can subjectify the self. So too, nobody should think objectively I understood, therefore I must get liberation. No. Unless that objective knowledge is converted to subjective experience, moksha will not come. But see, the combination of both, understanding is in the form of idam, अनुभूति in the form of darshanam, दोनों मिलाकर idam द्र। idam द्र। Okay, तस्माद् इन्द्रो नाम इन्द्रो है नाम। Now tam idandram santam, that pure Brahman which is named as idandram, within short period of time he is given a nickname also, Indra iti achakshate। इदंद्र को है इंद्र कहते हैं। अरे इदंद्र को इदंद्र कहो ना, क्यों इंद्र कहते हो? परोक्षेण, परोक्षेण, वही परोक्षेण, परोक्ष प्रियाय वही देवा, परोक्ष प्रियाय वही देवा। अरे सारे देवता लोग परोक्ष रूप से उनको एड्रेस करो तो पसंद करते हैं, और देवताओं को ही ऐसा पसंद होता है परोक्ष में बुलवाना। अब परब्रह्म तो इनसे महान है, तो उनको परोक्ष अच्छा लगता है। देखो परोक्ष में उनको इदंद्र को निकालकर दम एक दा को छोड़कर उनको इंद्र कहते। ये इंद्र है जो इंद्रो माया भी पुर्यते पुरूपयते। इन दीज मंत्रास द मीनिंग ऑफ इंद्र देयर इज नॉट द स्वर्ग लोकाधिपति इंद्र, दैट इज इदंद्र इंद्र, दैट इज ब्रह्मन हु वाज अंडरस्टूड एज इदम, एक्सपीरियंस्ड एज द्रम। द्रम मीन्स दृष्टि, डायरेक्ट एक्सपीरियंस। सो इसका हम भाष्य से पढ़ेंगे तो दो तीन मुख्य विषय हमको समझ में आएंगे। टुमारो वी विल सी दैट ओम 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 Om, 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 Om. Today, what we covered was summarize the Adhyaropa, exhaustively explained the Apavada. Then, the same we studied through the Bhashya. Then, latest is that Brahman is named as Idandra, and in the Parokshana, he is named as Indra. So, in Upanishads, when the word Indra comes, you know that it is Brahman. But that Indra is not the actual name of the Brahman, he is Idandra. The Idandra name came to him because theoretically understood as an Idam, experienced as Drashti. Drushti, Aham Rupena Darshanam unka. दोनों मिलाकर इदमद्रा हो गया. Keep it in mind, that's it. Mind. Meaning is important, word nahi. This Bhashya and then the next one, the Sambandha Bhashya of 7-8 pages. Tomorrow it will start. Thank you for your patient listening. That's what we learned today. Yeah.